Hello, everyone. I'd like to talk with you about communication. Communication is always important, but especially in times when some of our normal avenues of communication have changed, like when we don't have daily face to face communication, then communication with technology becomes even more important. Back in the spring, we surveyed our parents, and they said our technology was great during the closure. They said, teachers, you had done an excellent job of preparing students to work in this remote environment. They did give us some feedback about communication that I want to share with you, and that really has to do with the streamline of communication and the timeliness of communication. So let's look at that information together. So one of the things that we want to make sure we're doing is that we're all communicating on the same platforms. That will help parents recognize those platforms and understand what they're for. So the first platform we're going to look at is Google Meet. Most of you have used Google Meet quite a lot lately. And we're going to continue using Google Meet. That's our platform for live interactions with students. So not Zoom, not WebEx, not any of those other platforms, but Google Meet. And again, we're going to keep the same guidelines that we did in the spring. Don't video conference with students outside regular school hours unless your building administrator has approved it. And remember to have a parent present if you're communicating with a single student. Do look at the information there at the bottom of the screen because there are some changes coming to Google Meet in October. We're going to lose our ability to record through the Google Meet platform. But remember, we all have Screencastify in the Phoenix City school system, so you will be able to record your Google Meets with Screencastify. Also, Google Meet is going to a 100-person limit for our organization and a 60-minute limit for Google Meet. So just keep a note of those changes that are coming in October. When it comes to delivery of instruction, all teachers in grades K through 12 will use Google Classroom to organize that delivery of instruction. So one of the first things you want to do is to enable Guardian access so that you can communicate information with parents through Google Classroom. Also, we have purchased Kami for all students and teachers. So consider the use of Kami assignments. You can give audio and video feedback with that platform. Be sure to add your administrator and any appropriate coworkers, maybe a special education teacher, a smart lab facilitator, a library media specialist, as a co-teacher in your Google Classroom. Sometimes you may need to individually communicate with parents. As always, just as you have been doing, continue to email your parents from your school-provided, district-provided email accounts. We're still in the this kind of world where we have two email accounts. So pick one, your primary or your secondary, but that's how you're going to communicate with parents through email. Also, consider the use of Google Voice. During this time when we're trying not to share equipment, you may not want to share the office phone with other people. So consider placing a call with Google Voice. You can do that from your cell phone, but it will conceal your personal cell phone number. So your library media specialist should be able to help you with that. And also, there's a video tutorial out this week to help you understand Google Voice. So our goals are twofold. The first is streamlined communication. I want you to think about this from the parent's perspective, especially our parents who may have multiple children in the school district. If we introduce other platforms, Seesaw and Dojo and Remind and all these other platforms, then think about it as if they're checking multiple mailboxes. So again, multiply that by every child they have in the Phoenix City schools, and that can become quite overwhelming for parents. And that's what some of our parents told us in the spring, that there were just so many platforms of communication that it got quite overwhelming. So remember, these are your platforms: Google Classroom, email, Google Voice. And then another goal, and most everyone did well on this, but I want you to continue to make that a priority in this school year. Monitor both of your accounts. It's just where we are right now. Check both of those email accounts every day, and then respond to parent emails within one school day. And you'll see the quote from George Bernard Shaw there. You may put something out in Google Classroom that to you and to your students is perfectly clear. But if it's not clear to a parent, they may have questions about that. And so it's important for you to respond to those emails so that you can clear up any communication errors really before they start. So thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for making communication a priority. And if you have any questions about communication in your job assignment this year, please see your building administrator.